Hey guys, welcome back to more F1 2018 and part 11 of Season 2 of our McLaren Career Mode. I'm Joe. If you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe for daily sports and retro gaming content. Today we have the German Grand Prix around Hockenheim, and to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure the pace is there in the car. You know, we've comfortably got through the first two qualifying sessions, but we've been about half a second off Fernando Alonso, and well, if we have a look at the timing screens, you can see there are two big casualties in the previous parts. Valtteri Bottas went out in Q2 and Verstappen went out in Q1. Strangely enough, Verstappen qualified 20th, trying to get through on the soft tyres, but everybody is so close these days that it's just going to be so tough to get through on those soft tyres. Bottas made the same mistake in Q2, and it honestly makes no sense because tomorrow it's going to be raining anyway, so there's no advantage of getting through on the soft tyres. But as you can see, Fernando Alonso currently leading the way. I'll take you on a lap of the Hockenheim ring a little bit later in the session, but for now I'll show you when we get to Sector 3. Let's go and see what we can do. Well, you join me on the third sector, and as you can see, we're 1.1 seconds off the time that Lewis Hamilton is set for pole position through the middle sector. It's crazy because we were 2/10 up on his time through Sector 1. We're losing all of our time in Sector 2, but we come up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 1:12.9, and that puts us 6th for the moment. I think we've just about got enough time to get in, get a new set of tyres on, and lead you guys around a lap of the Hockenheim ring. Well, here we go then. Oh!
Okay, that's pretty disappointing.
Well,
Turn it around tomorrow.
that's a bit disappointing. I mean, we left the garage with 1 minute 52 on the clock. I don't know what happened there.
Here's a look at your top three. Alonso, Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well, that is a massive disappointment. We left the garage with 1 minute 52 on the clock. We should have had plenty of time to get round, but the AI apparently didn't, and it's Fernando Alonso who's took a last gasp pole position, a 1:12 flat, a tenth of a second clear of Vettel and Hamilton. Raikkonen rounds out the top four. Hülkenberg, a very impressive 5th around his home circuit, with Sainz in 6th. Ricciardo, a disappointing 7th, and Red Bull will certainly be asking questions. Perez 8th, and Ware 9th. Very, very disappointing, and lucky not to finish below Pierre Gasly there. A 1:12.9 is a decent time, but we definitely had time to make in that second sector. We were pretty quick in Sector 1 and Sector 3. We could have maybe made half a second in that second sector, but it would have only took us up to about 5th anyway. We just have not had the pace of the top guys this weekend, and I genuinely think it's that middle sector. We just can't get the braking right after the long straight and the traction zone after that. I think we're quite lucky in the fact that it is a wet race tomorrow and anything can happen. So let's hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson to lead you through the German Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to a place that is very special to us all in the Formula One community. It's the Hockenheim ring, home of the German Grand Prix. Always good for a close scrap is Hockenheim. Think back to Alonso, Ricciardo, Vettel as recently as 2014, and I'm expecting some more strong racing today. It's 2.8 miles around the Hockenheim ring then, and some fairly wet conditions to overcome on this 17-corner circuit. The long curved back straight leads into a tight hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity. But expect to see the cars running wide, as braking offline could prove very difficult indeed. Almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Fernando Alonso has a good view of turn 1 from his pole position slot, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Raikkonen, Nico Hülkenberg and Sainz, Ricciardo, the captain, Gasly and Roman Grosjean. Bottas, Sirotkin, Sergio Perez. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Stroll, Ocon, Ericsson, Kevin Magnussen and Brendan Hartley. Leclerc and Max Verstappen completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Well, a no-stop race it'll probably be on these intermediate tyres, although there might be some time to be had a little bit later on. You never ever know. We'll see about that. But we're down on the track ready for the race. I think today we're just going to skip the formation lap. I know it's probably a bad idea, but considering about the wet weather, but I think you guys have seen it enough. I've done it enough times, so let's get into the race. Here we are then, ready for the lights. Lights out, away we go here around the Hockenheim ring for the German Grand Prix. We are away a little bit sluggishly and now getting swamped down around the outside there. We have got some yellow flags. Vettel is in the wall. Vettel is in the wall. We'll have to have a look at that on replay because that'll be satisfying to watch. Let's have a little look. Then we don't really want to miss it. But what happened up ahead? So there's Vettel. So Vettel and Hamilton were side by side. Alonso got through safely. And look at this. Vettel straight into the wall there, and well, his race is going to be incredibly compromised, and he nearly went back into Verstappen there. That was dangerous driving from Sebastian Vettel, the four-time world champion, but he will try to pick up from the back of the grid now. We're slotting into 8th place here, where we started on the grid thanks to Perez's penalty, and looking to sort of keep up with the guys in front. Bottas is having a little look around our outside, and this is the corner where we've really been struggling this weekend. Everybody going nice and slow into there. That's what we like. There's yellow flags about. I don't know exactly what's happened, but I'm sure we'll find out. All 20 runners still in this Grand Prix. I think Fernando Alonso still leads, and he is leading by quite some way if you have a look. And Raikkonen has got ahead of Hamilton into 2nd place. So what a start to this German Grand Prix. We're currently down in 8th place, but I think as the race goes on we'll get our confidence and maybe be able to make up a couple of positions. As long as we can sort of stay with this lead group, I'll be happy. Well, here we are, we're having a little look at Gasly after the first turn. This is a chance for us now to have a look down the inside. And well, we make the move stick. That's a fairly decent move from us there. And we're now into 7th position in this Grand Prix, hoping to catch up to Daniel Ricciardo. Gasly's, well, we've already lost him a little bit, which is good. And well, Sirotkin is making the move. I thought it was Bottas that was behind us, but I don't really know what's happened to him. I thought it was going to be a rerun of Austria with our battle with Bottas, but Sirotkin is battling with Gasly for those final couple of points in the top 10, but we're currently pushing on Daniel Ricciardo, who's pushing on his future teammate Nico Hülkenberg and his future car in Carlos Sainz. Well, Daniel Ricciardo's left the door open and, well, we've took it. I don't really know where that gap came from, but we're through. We're not complaining, really. He left the door open, we went for it and had to commit. In this weather, you know, it was safer to sort of cut the corner slightly than it was to back out of it. But Sainz and Hülkenberg battling up ahead. And they're side by side, so... You know, we could get 4th place in this Grand Prix. Why, goodness me, there's contact. There is contact between the two Renaults up ahead. Hülkenberg just about managing to stay in front for now. But we're having a little look around the outside of Sainz now, which is risky in this weather, but we've managed it. Sainz makes a little bit of contact with us there, but we're up to 5th place, and now we're having a look at Nico Hülkenberg for 4th. And I tell you what, we can see Hamilton not too far up ahead, and I wonder if he has any damage from that first corner incident with Sebastian Vettel, because he does seem to be dropping off Raikkonen and Alonso like a fly. But here we go. Oh, well, unfortunate there. Just go out onto the curb a little bit. But we're trying our best here to get past Ricardo. Not Ricardo, Hülkenberg. We're right in his gearbox right now. Ricardo is right behind us, so we have to make this move very, very soon. We should have the slipstream on Nico Hülkenberg, and you can see we're going to have a chance here down the inside. We're having a look. Can we get the car slowed down in time? We can, and we're through. So we're up to 4th place now. Very good start for us in this wet weather race. Is really helping us. We've got a bit of clear air now, which should help us push on Hamilton.
Some information on Hamilton. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Well, there you go. Hamilton's got a mechanical problem up ahead, so we should be closing in on him fairly swiftly, which, you know, would be a terrific result for us, really, to finish in 3rd place. But I did say Hamilton must have had some sort of problem. And we are setting purple sector times now that we're in this clear air. You can see how much we've dropped Ricardo and the Renaults behind, and you can visibly see how much closer we are to Hamilton now.
2.6 seconds.
So we're gonna harvest some of that electrical energy, and we're gonna use it all to get past Hamilton, hopefully in the next couple of laps. Well, as you can see, we're right behind Lewis Hamilton now, and we should be able to take him fairly easily, you would imagine. He's definitely struggling. And we're going to stick it into overtake now. We have lost a little bit to Ricardo in the last couple of corners, simply because we're right behind Hamilton, and there's just a little bit less grip when you're following a car in this weather. And obviously you don't want to go into the back of him either. That's another consideration, but we really do need to get past Hamilton quickly, although he does seem to be speeding up again, so I wonder if Jeff's going to come on the radio and say that that issue's fixed, or whether we're just slow in the 2nd sector, which is what I suspect is the case. We got a chance now. We've got so much more speed in those corners. We're going to have a look down the inside now, and, well, I'll take it. That's a decent move from us in the end. Fairly clean. Okay, there was a little bit of argy-bargy, but we didn't take him out. And Ricardo's also made the move on Hamilton. So we are now into 3rd position. Fernando and Raikkonen are battling up at the top. I don't think we're going to be competing with them today, but we can at least have a little bit of silverware in 3rd place.
The virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta.
Well, we got a virtual safety car out. Hülkenberg's out of the race. Don't know what happened to him, although 2 cars have now retired, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening to people, but we'll see.
Virtual safety car is ending.
Oh, Sorokin's out as well.
VSC ending. Wait for green.
So there we go, end of VSC, and I feel like we did okay from that. We are closing in on Raikkonen. We have now got the fastest lap of the race, so that's always a positive.
Gap to the car ahead is 7.5 seconds.
We've closed in a couple of seconds in the last couple of laps too, Raikkonen, so if we keep that sort of form up for the rest of the Grand Prix, well, we could be looking at a 2nd place after all. And Fernando's not too far ahead of Kimi, so this race isn't over. We've just got to keep it nice and clean, keep the pace up, and who knows what could happen.
Caution.
Well guys, you join me as we go on to our final lap of the Grand Prix. Not much else has happened. We have closed in about 4 or 5 seconds to Kimi Räikkönen, but we've never really got any closer than that. We have set the fastest lap of the race of a 1:25 flat, so if it was F1 2019 we would be getting an extra point for the fastest lap, of course, but we'll just reduce our energy output. But it's been a good Grand Prix, you know. We had a lot of action at the start, we kept it nice and clean, we overtook who we needed to overtake, and you know, I think we can be quite proud of a 3rd position here. And we've got the Ice Cream Man making a cameo again. Goodness me! This Ice Cream Man has followed us all the way from Austria to Germany. Well, I say all the way, it's not that far, but you know, it's probably the same forest that he's in, and it's echoing throughout the woods. But no, I think we can be quite proud. You know, Fernando Alonso has gone and dominated the Grand Prix, really, in the end, after getting a good start. Kimi Räikkönen has done a decent job in 2nd, and we're coming round now in 3rd position, even though we've run out of fuel, but we're absolutely fine. We come through in 3rd place, and we can be really, really happy with that.
You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
What a fantastic Grand Prix that was, and an excellent win for McLaren. So, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
It's a heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and have the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into 1st place here today.
Well, Charles Leclerc finishes 9th from 19th. That's brilliant.
Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm really happy to see them there on the top step of the podium.
And well, there you go. Fernando Alonso wins the German Grand Prix. Well done to him.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Well, after a drive like that, it's got to be Charles Leclerc, hasn't it? Very clean, very smooth. He can be really pleased with that one.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye.
So there we have it then. Fernando Alonso wins the German Grand Prix from pole position. Very, very strong stuff from him. We finish in 3rd behind Kimi Räikkönen in 2nd. Daniel Ricciardo finishes 4th for Red Bull. Very good Grand Prix from him. Kept us under pressure all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. Bottas finishes 5th. Grosjean 6th. An excellent 6th for Haas, really. Perez finishes 7th. Hamilton drops to 8th after a mechanical issue. Leclerc finishes 9th and Ocon in 10th. So, where is the likes of Vettel? Obviously, Vettel had a 1st lap collision. Hulkenberg and Sorokin don't finish. Verstappen finished right at the back there. Don't exactly know what happened to him at any point. Maybe he had a contact with somebody or other. Vettel finished 17th in the end, so did manage to make his way past Verstappen, despite making 2 stops. So don't know what happened to Vettel later in the race, but hey ho. Hartley and Stroll, Gasly, Magnussen, Sainz and Ericsson are the other drivers of the race. In the drivers, as you've seen, Lewis Hamilton is still out in front, 34 points ahead of Valtteri Bottas in 2nd. Sebastian Vettel finishes 3rd. or is third, I should say, 39 points off Hamilton. Ricciardo fourth, and then we're in fifth, 58 points off the lead. Fernando stays in seventh, but closes the gap dramatically to Kimi Räikkönen in sixth there. So very, very good for the McLaren team. We're back in the top three, looking very good for a strong end to the season. And that is where we're going to leave it for today's episode. If you've enjoyed that, then make sure you leave a like down below. Really does help me out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for regular F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.